Good morning, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm just getting organised for my Cuppa and cards. Okay, so if you're watching, come and say hello. I'm just trying to see, I'm just trying to get myself here on. Now the lights are not great this morning either. Still not resolved this light thing. Oh well, shadows there are. Okay, so good morning everyone. It's time for Cuppa and cards. Hi Helen, in you come. Well, it's a wet day here in Scotland. Not particularly cold, but it's wet. So to me it's perfect crafting weather. And today's my Stampin' Up day anyway. So yeah, let's just have a play. Good morning Carol, in you come. I want to get ahead with Christmas cards. Who else makes who's a crafter, makes cards and still ends up scrabbling about at the last minute December making cards because you're way behind schedule. So this year I'm going to try and get ahead. So I've decided to come on and use one of the Christmas sets and show you just a wee simple fun way, simple stamping using just your stamp set. This is part of a fantastic bundle, but which I will show you probably on YouTube. But for this morning we're going to stick with simples. So these ones are too big. I'm just getting some layers and some stamp. Now I've chosen a fairly, well, I would say very non-traditional palette of colours to play with this morning. I'm not necessarily a strictly red and green girl for Christmas. Not always have been, just like to vary it up a bit, and I think sometimes when you use different colours it moderns it up a wee bit. If that is such a term, moderns it up, do you know what I mean? Brings it up to date a wee bit, although there's nothing wrong with the traditional colours. They kind of make you feel a bit warm and fuzzy. If you have happy memories of Christmas, I do acknowledge that that's not everyone's experience. But hey, let's just stamp and stop trying to be philosophical, Janice. Right, so this, got a white layer here that is 14 centimetres. I can't remember, I cut them last night, by 9.7. So we'll just head off and start stamping. So when I start with a stamp set, I have this simple composition that I just go with, and it is where I put a sentiment in the middle and a stamp all around it, and it works and it's nice to look at. And as I say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I've got a block to pick this up, and I'm going to use, I'm not going to use all 5 colours in every card. I'm going to make different combinations, but this one I'm going to use Evening Evergreen, Polished Pink and Gorgeous Grape. And we'll use Early Evergreen as for the sentiment, because it is the darkest and most dominant of the colours. And I'm just going to pop it, well, I would say bang slant in the middle, but I've not really checked that. It's just what pleases my eye. So you've got some sun in Lincolnshire. I believe you guys had rain earlier in the week though down south, did you? Maybe I'm just watching the wrong news. I'll need that open. And then I'll open my Polished Pink and my purple. I know what I forgot to do. I've got new glue and I've left it through the other room. I might have to disappear on you in a wee while. But first, this one I'm just going to use some flowers. This stamp set is just pretty. The flowers are just pretty. There's dies to cut them out. There's an embossing folder. It's dynamic. It's fabulous. And this will be played with. But I thought, I'm seeing it, a lot of people using the folders and the dies, but it would be nice actually just to do some simple stamping with this set too. So I am looking for a leaf as well. We might bring this in as the leaf this time. Right. Pop that sentiment. I need that block. I've got that one's big enough for that. If I've got more of the small blocks. Wow, that would make it easier, wouldn't it? Then I wouldn't have to keep moving things. Right. That one's quite small. You can see I have been playing with them because they're stained, they're pink. But that's just the nature of photopolymer stamps. I might bring it. I might bring in a mat as well. Oh, we had fog yesterday as well. It is becoming autumnal anyway, but yesterday and the day before I think we had a bit of an Indian summer, but it doesn't look like Indian summer today. Anyway, right, so I've got a lovely sentiment. That evening evergreen is a bit pretty. So this time I'm going to use this flower, the bigger image, and I'm going to stamp it about 3 times. 1, that one about here, slightly off. Now, to me that doesn't look like much of a flower, so I'm going to do is ink it up, stamp it on my grid sheet, and then do second generation stamping. And to me this is still simple stamping. It just gives it a bit more dimension. I'm doing this as a second part because when you stamp off you get a line on the stamp, so it's not just a case of stamp and twist to do your second generation. So I'm doing it this way to make sure I don't get any lines. We can guarantee I'll forget about that later. Right, so starting to build a flower image. I'm going to bring in some green leaves. These are quite pretty, aren't they? Now I don't really want this stemmy, although it can just tuck in. I'm thinking maybe do a wee bit of second generation on this as well. Let's do 1, 2 like that. That's better. And I love when you stamp off with the evening evergreen that the second stamp does look like soft succulent. So again, if you don't have the budget to buy all the colours, look at the benefit of just buying early evergreen. Hi Renee, in you come. So we'll have a bit of one coming down here, and then just twist it, and it just looks like you've got some leaves behind it. But in case I forget, I'll just do a stamp off and do the same here. One here and twist. That was a bit because that was stamping off. I've got, but you know, variegated leaves are fine, aren't they? And then we take that one just going, yeah, let's just pop this one going off. So take that bit off. Oh, Janice. I wipe more ink off the look, more than I was intending to, but let's just, it doesn't really matter. Right. I've got some greenery on now anyway. I actually like this early evergreen with the gorgeous grape. It's just fab, isn't it? So you could stick with two colours and just, I don't know whether to bring in, I was going to bring in the polished pink. What do you think? Do you want me to bring in the polished pink for a smaller flower? Or will we make the smaller flower gorgeous grape and stick with a two colour card? I'm going to stick with the two colours just now, and then we can do one with three colours, bring it up a bit. I ask you and then I tell you, don't I? That's me all over. It's because Facebook has such a lag on YouTube. When you ask a question, people's answers come right away. I like that. Now we should be able to get a few flowers of a group here in the small ones. So let's just bring that in about there. And because that's a whole flower I've stamped, I can just twist that one and get that wee bit at the back. See, this is not what I planned to do, and that's the beauty of stamping. You change it up to suit how you feel when you're going. It develops while you're working. Right, and then I don't talk too much. So ink that one up, stamp it off, go in between the petals. I'll have a third one up here. Twist. Oh, right, give me a minute, I maybe didn't put power in. Oh, no, seems to be okay here. Are we okay? Yeah, it's all right here. Are you okay? Now has it come back? And maybe your internet, because it does seem to be okay here. Is everyone else okay? Let me know. Okay, I've put power in just in case it was my camera, my phone, but yeah, it didn't look like it. The internet's a funny thing, isn't it? Right, let's just pop a bit of one here. Twist. What do you think of a purple and green Christmas? I'm just going to take my greenery and just add it coming in this way to the gaps around the edge. Just go around. Oh, don't throw your stamp like that. That's not really a good idea. So what's everybody's plans today? Anyone got anything exciting planned for today? I've noticed on Facebook, Helen, that you've been getting yourself out and about for coffees and things, which is just great. I love to see people meeting up with friends and chatting and being sociable. Look at my hands already, we're only on the first card. So there is a simple piece of stamping. I'm not going to close these up because we'll move on and we'll do one that uses the pink as well. But we'll make this up so that we're not just having a pile of half-made cards. Now we have to decide which of the colours we're using. yeah, it's nice to get out and just be sociable, doesn't it? So we can put it on a gorgeous grape card, or on an early evergreen, evening evergreen even. So you vote, which one? Which one will I use? Well, I'm going to go and grab a new bottle of glue and give my hands a bit of a wipe, and I'll be back in a second. Talk amongst yourselves just for a minute. Oh, thanks for that, ladies. Oh, that's better. Right, I'm here again. Got a new glue so we don't have a palaver. I will finish your other glues off, but just when you're on a live. So which one are we having? I don't know if I'm frozen, so we'll go with the early evergreen, will we? Let's go again. I'm going to go with the early evergreen. Evening evergreen even, yeah. I agree with you, Carol, I like that. So you could have fun, oh, do you know what I think these flowers need is a centre. That's not really very good, is it, without a bit of a focal point. So I will get my teeny weeny, and we'll just give them a green middle because we're sticking with a 2-colour palette here on this card. Just use these wee dots in the middle of the flower. See, that just livens them up a bit, doesn't it? I'm not going to say makes them be realistic, because they're anything but realistic anyway. That one's not really, that's better. I seem to be getting early evergreen everywhere. Right, so that's, and I do have some cards here. I've got some cards here cut that could be, I'd add some a bit more of the smaller ones as well. So use these smaller ones inside too. Lets people see more of this gorgeous card. But we could stamp, so that can have just, let's just say, we'll just take the smaller flower. I'm inking it up with the purple. And just pop just one flower, simple, like just straightforward, and then some of the leaves. And the dots in the middle. Just, that's fine on the inside, and just glue that into the inside of your card. I realise an error I'm making here, and I might have ruined the inside because this mat has wet ink on it. Very good, Janice. So we have a choice here. I'm going to stick it in and then just stamp over it. I could have chucked that, whoops, I could have chucked that in the bin. But to me it's just an opportunity for extra stamping, isn't it? Recovered. Nobody knows that I didn't intend to do that. So card 1 in the bag. Probably took longer, but just because I took my time. So right now, another one. Is that the same size? Yeah, we'll go with this and we'll bring the pink in this time and see what you think of the difference, that just bringing another colour in. So we've got polished pink, maybe not coming to me today, and we've got our purple and we've got our early evergreen. So this time I'm going to start with the smaller flower. I need to clean it. Got my chamois here and I need a sentiment for the middle. Shall we try one of the other sentiments? Together is the merriest place to be. Now isn't that a good one for friends? Great this year to be able to get together with friends. So this time I'm going to pop the purple Gorgeous Grape in the middle. Let's hope I've got enough ink. And then I am going to take this little one, I've cleaned it, and again similar composition to before, but I'm going to pop one. Oh, something happened there. Oh, do you know what? It's given it texture, but it's because I hadn't dried the stamp. It was a bit it was a bit damp when I picked up the ink. But I actually quite like the texture that gives. I'm going to make this a group of 3 again as well. I'm still getting that texture. I think that's what's causing it. There we go, and then maybe another pink one about here on its own. Very quiet today, ladies. Are you all busy doing something? That one didn't. That's better. Right, and then we'll bring in some green this time. Will we stick with that leaf or will we have a go with one of the other? We'll just stick with this one just now. Saves me cleaning it. We'll get a bit of greenery in here as well, and then we'll bring some purple in. I've just put that in the purple. Did anyone notice that? In the Gorgeous Grape. You're supposed to be keeping an eye on me. Just as well I noticed that looked a bit odd. Like that. Does I see, even though I had a plan, I'm still making it up as I go. this one in, maybe about here. Probably enough green just now, we'll deal with that later. And I'm going to bring the bigger flower, and this time I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape and just bring it into the spaces that we have, and it won't matter if it overlaps the leaves. Well, I've even overlapped my sentiment. I don't usually do that, but hey, I can still read it. So this time with the 3 colours. It just changes the look again. I'll just bring this down. We'll pop this one here. Just like that. And then cut up. Ooh! I'll bring the greenery and just a few wee gaps around the edge. And I don't think it needs much more than that. A wee leaf in there. Might just pop a wee leaf there too. Right, stop, Janice. And then the wee centre of the flower. So this time we'll give the pink flowers a purple inside and the other way about. Just dots. Clean the stamp, dry it this time. And that's that. Just clean it off. The other thing I thought might be interesting to bring in now is a bit of dotage, because there's a lovely wee dotage stamp in this set. Let's put it on here and take that leaf off here. And we'll just do a bit of, just to bring some more of the Gorgeous Grape in, we'll do a bit of, and it's like little wee stars and dots, wee crosses. It's quite, just fills up the, breaks up the white gaps. So if you're watching this later or now even, you can buy all these products on my online shop, or in my online shop, which is JazzleDazzle.stampinup.net. And I've just put my hand in the early evergreen. I think I'll maybe come here to show you what not to do rather than what to do. I'm going to clean that stamp and then use the dropsy today. Right, the polished pink this time. I like using a fair bit of dotage in the background like that. I don't know what it is, it just seems to bring it all together. Brings all the colours together. Right, enough is enough. Stop, Janice, stop. Okay, so Are you okay so far? It's just fun, isn't it? And it's just playing with colour. I'm going to close these things because I'm getting in a bit of a muddle here. Get covered. Right, so then this time maybe a polished pink card base. But what I'm thinking though is to define the edge a bit more and get more ink on me. I'm just popping it through, just dabbing it on the ink pad. And again, this isn't, you know, this is still simples. It just gives it an edge. Glue that in. Covered, I am covered. You see, these cards are nice and flat as well, so for popping in the post. You could get yourself settled down and just batch make them. Sit and do a whole pile of stamping and then just assemble your cards. If you want to fancy them up, obviously you can add a wee bow, you can add some diamantes, you know, embellishments. There's loads that you can do. I'm trying to just stick with simple. I'm just looking for a piece to put on the inside. Again, we'll just pop. So because polished pink is the main colour we're using here, we'll just do a pink flower. Bring your dot in. And again, you can put leaves in or not put leaves in, whatever, you know, you can just do it whatever you want. I'm just going to just leave it at that. If I manage to not get ink all over it, it might go in just simply like that. Oops. So there you go. See, I've got a splodge. So there's a remedy for that. There's always a remedy. So I could just take my Dotage stamp and reflect the front of the card, and then no one will notice that wee splodge. That's our second card done. There's my bone folder just to make that one lie. Still, so I don't know how we're doing for time, ladies. I've lost track of it. We've plenty of time. So then I did want to do change the palette slightly and bring in these three colours. I did have a play last night, so I do have a few ideas to get me going. So this time I'll just leave this messy bit. So I'm going to do purple with Misty Moonlight and Balmy Blue because I like it, and also because I want to bring in this beautiful Balmy Blue sparkly card. Do you know, sometimes you just want to. So I am going to use that. Right, so there's my layer. Right, so I'm going to do this these ones, I've done 2 landscape cards, so this time I'm going to try and do 2 portrait cards. So this time we'll use the other big sentiment, just so that you see. Now there is the sentiment joy, which is fab. There's seasons greetings. Now that isn't really a sentiment we use in the UK. Well, certainly not in Scotland. To me, seasons greetings is something you hear in a film made in the US of A. So folks, yeah, it's not something we say in the UK. Well, I think we do now because we've heard it so many times. But hey, there's lovely wee holly leaves here as well. So they're going to come in quite stylised, aren't they? And that's why I thought, you know, because this is quite stylised, it would be nice to do it in more modern colours. Thinking of you this festive season. So that's nice too. So let's bring in this. In the middle, Janice. Right, and I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight. Do you, Linda, do you say seasons greetings? Okay, then that's fine. And you're in Scotland as well, aren't you? So anyway, it's not one that I use anyway. Maybe that's what I should say. Should qualify that better. I can't speak for everyone, can I? I'm an old-fashioned Scottish lady. Getting old. Isn't that a nice colour, that Misty Moonlight? It's almost as nice as Night of Navy. Almost. But I decided to use it more, and then I'm going to use this branch, probably this little one too, so let's get them out, and a block for it. I'm making it up with the Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to pop it. I'm going to come in from each corner with this. And stamp twice. And again in here. There we go. Right, so there's my sort of structure to my composition, and then I'm just going to pop some flowers in here. So I'm going to go in with some gorgeous grape and the larger flower, which already had gorgeous grape on it. I'm just going to pop that. I'm not worrying about overlapping or anything like that, except I'm going to try and leave my sentiment readable. Okay, take care, Shirley. Thank you for coming in. Purple one here. I didn't stamp that off, did I? And then I'm going to get the little one. I need to clean it too. I'm going to bring in Balmy Blue because I can. We try not to use more than 3 colours though, I think. That's just what I think. But again, whatever pleases your eye. I love Balmy Blue, I think it's a beautiful colour. Off and then I'll pop in the spaces. We'll bring this round. Actually thinking that, you see, I didn't do that properly because I've got the line, but it won't matter. No one will really notice, because the thing is, no one except you guys will know what I really intended it to look like. So then that's the flowers, and then I'm going to come in with the little kind of greenery stamp which I took out and misplaced. Very good. And I'm going to still go back to my Misty Moonlight and just bring it in and fill in some of the gaps. There aren't a lot of gaps on this. Just as you please, really. Okay, I'm going to leave that at that and then get my wee dots. I'm going to stick with the wee dots for the middle, and I'm just going to stick with Misty Moonlight for this job. That's alright, isn't it? And this time I'm going to pop this onto the Balmy Blue glitter paper. I think it's gorgeous. Gives a gorgeous, gorgeous. It's just, that's what it's for, quick and easy, Carol. It's a composition that works. You can do it with almost any stamp set, and it looks fine. So it's a good way to start when you pull out a stamp set and sort of decide what am I going to do with this. I guarantee you that most of my card kits will, the simple card, the first card will be probably that composition or something similar. But it relaxes you and gets you stamping. And I just think for batch card making it is a nice. I'm still making each card individual and enjoying the process. So now I'm not sure what card base we're going to use. So we can use Misty Moonlight. We could use Gorgeous Grape, or we could even use Balmy Blue. Thinking it, which one do you think? I think it looks nice on Balmy Blue, doesn't it? Or will we go that way? Can't decide. Well, do you know what? I'm going to do another card in a similar colourway, so we can do the other one that way, and then we can decide what we like better. again, just get it straight. Give a bit of rub on the back. Could use your bone folder for that, just to make sure that the glue is spread and getting a hold, because then you get a nice flat finish when it's dry. You don't want kind of lumps of glue looking through. So that's card 3, and I think we have time for at least one. Oh, we didn't put anything in the middle of that. Let's do that. So that we could just take the greenery one and our misty moonlight, and again just do a bit in the corners to replicate what you've got on the outside of the card. Look, you can get three generations there. To be honest, I think this could be a birthday. If you had a birthday greeting in the middle, that would work equally well. But I really do want to get ahead with Christmas, so I'm going to start. I've got a box, I'm going to start popping these in, and I quite like to write a personal message in my cards as I go, and think about the people that the card is for as I send it, or write it rather. Hi Debbie. Thank you. We're just keeping it simple. Because let's face it, simple's what I do best. Well, it isn't actually. Simple isn't that easy to do if you're... Oh, look. Can't even get it straight. Simple isn't the easiest thing to do if you're a crafter, and if you have the amount of craft supplies that some of us have got, you just want to throw everything at every card. So kind of, you know, holding back a wee bit. So isn't that gorgeous? But see, if you wanted to bring in an embellishment, I'm going to show you with these blue cards what trick we have in our armoury here. Look at these balmy blue adhesive back gems. They are in the annual catalogue. Aren't they fabulous? So if you want to pretty up this card, there's your tools. Isn't that pretty? Right, but we've given it a bit of sparkle, so we'll leave it at that just now. Let's do a 4th card before we finish. And this time I'm going to change the composition slightly for you. Which one? Right, I've used all the big ones, but I'm just going to stick with a big one. What have we got? My coffee's gone cold and there's no one here to make me a nice hot one. Have you all got a nice cuppa? So this time we'll stick with this palette. So the last time I made Misty Moonlight quite dominant, so let's just go for a gorgeous grape in the middle this time. I'm going to pop it up here, about there. And I'm going to take my bigger flower again. I'm going to stick with gorgeous grape for my big flower. Mostly because I'm too lazy to clean it. That's the only reason. Right. One there. And pop it round. And let's add some of the greenery. I wonder if I'll stick with the smaller leaf. Oh no, I said we'd bring in one of the holly leaves, didn't I? Just for the fun. No, we'll bring in the medium size holly leaf. Get this block. just trying to put the stamps that are not in use in the cleaning box with my chamois, right? And then we'll bring Misty Moonlight in for our leaves, because Misty Moonlight's okay for leaves. Did you see the rookie mistake? Because it's stamping off, I need to ink it up again and stamp off on my paper and then twist it so I don't get any lines. Another one here maybe. Off, on. Alright, and then we'll bring in some balmy blue flowers. We'll use the smaller flower. I think it's still got pink on it, so we'll give it a clean. Yeah, and then we'll bring in our balmy blue. So I'm having a blue Christmas here. Can anyone sing the song? It'll be a blue Christmas without you. So again, I'm just going to, I think that's what I'm doing anyway. On, off, twist. Just to give the flower a bit more fullness there. And then on, we'll have one here, slightly off the page. Twist. When I do that twist, I'm going to sing Twist and Shout. Do one about here. I can twist that because it was completely on the page. And we'll just do one stamped off here. So if you're here and you haven't said hello yet, say hello and let me know you're watching. I should have stamped that off and I didn't. See, I looked at your comments to see what everybody's saying. And then to tell me people that are in that haven't said hello, or I haven't noticed them say hello, that doesn't mean you didn't. Right, so that's enough, I think. And maybe just, do you know what, I think I'm bringing the smaller leaf, this one. Just put it on this block, the other side of the wee dotty things. Again, our Misty Moonlight. Just kind of quite hard for me to see where I'm going because I can't get my head right over. I'll just pop one in this area, like that even. I think one more. I'm probably overdoing it, but you know. Right, stop stamping. Well, not quite. The flowers need a middle, don't they? I mean, it's the difference that just connects all the petals together when you just put a wee centre in there. What do you think? Do we need any more? I'm not too sure about this gap, but I'm just going to leave it. Or shall we bring some dotage in? Dotage? We could do that, couldn't we? Could overdo it. Why not? Because we've got some gorgeous grape in here, but not a whole lot. Bring in more gorgeous grape by doing the dots with the gorgeous grape. What do you think? You like? I wonder, just do a bit more with Balmy Blue. I'm cleaning this gorgeous grape off. I'm just bringing a bit more with Balmy Blue. Because it's a lighter colour, I'm just doing it on first generation. Right, I think enough. Great. Did you see that? Unbelievable. I'm just going to leave it. The dotage does make the difference, doesn't it? Dotage. Dotage. I'm in my dotage, I think. Right, and again, I'm going to pop this on to my beautiful Balmy Blue glitter paper. Because I love it. I love it. I used loads of packs of this last year and I intend to use loads of packs of it this year because I love it. I could be a bit more frugal and I could have gutted that piece. I just didn't take the time to do that. So when I say gutted, I could have cut, like die cut a rectangle out of the middle of it, which I probably should. It's a bit wasteful what I'm doing here, but whoever's getting this card is worth it. So this time I am actually going to use the gorgeous grape, because remember I debated with the last card, so I think we'll do it this way around this time. But if you've got, you know, a few colours, you choose a few colours, chop up some card bases, and yeah, just go with it. So yeah, easy peasy. You like this one on the gorgeous grape, Helen? Oh, that's good to hear. I'm just smoothing it down just so that it... So there's our fourth card, and we are at 12 o'clock, so I think we'll stop there. I will take this sheet off. I'm going to be less wasteful and use the other side. So we started off, and actually I've got a funny feeling my first card's going to be my favourite card. I don't know. Where is it? Right, we started off with our 2-colour palette, and we used Gorgeous Grape with Evening Evergreen. I like that one. That's my... But there's something about these colours makes me think of Scottish rugby colour. I don't know why. Just... And then with those 2 colours we brought in our lovely lipstick pink, which is great. Like a bit of pink at Christmas. Pardon me. Then we did this one, So mostly, as you see, using the same composition, the sentiment in the middle and stamping around it. And then number 4, putting the sentiment slightly up here to a side and just stamping around the side of it. So let me know. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your favourite? Renee likes 1. 3 for you, Debbie. 1 and 3. Right, okay. Anyone else got opinions? Carol says 3. Yeah, I rather like that too. Right, so Helen, right. 4, 2, 1, 3. It just shows how we all like different things. So even when you make something that you don't particularly like, or then it doesn't mean that other people won't like it. So still keep it and still send it. Okay. So thank you everybody. I have noticed I've got a bit of something going on this card, but I'll sort that out after. Okay, thank you very, very much everyone. And that's Cuppa and cards over. Again, it must be the quickest hour in the week. But feel less stressed because I was a bit more organised today and had some things ready to go. So yeah, it was a bit more relaxed for me. Sometimes I'm completely winging it and I don't. But at least I planned a bit yesterday what I was going to do. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody. We'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you are doing. Thank you.